You want a reason to keep going. I'll give you 1,000 reasons to stop, but you're still here. Funny, isn't it? Life beats you down, breaks your bones, burns your dreams, and you crawl back for more. Like a dog, a very loyal dog. You wake up every day hoping the world's changed, but all you get is another slap in the face, another lie, another mask, and you wear yours so well. But deep down, behind those eyes, I see it. The rage, the sadness, the fire they tried to kill. They told you to calm down, to smile, to be nice, to sit still, to fit in. But you were never meant to fit in, were you? You were born to stand out. Broken, bruised, brilliant. They fear you, you know, not because you're evil, but because you've seen the truth. You've tasted reality without the sugarcoat, and you didn't flinch. That makes you dangerous. That makes you unstoppable. They laugh at your pain because they can't handle their own. They mock your scars because theirs are hidden. But scars are stories, and yours speak of survival. Every cut, every crack, every shattered piece of you is still here, still breathing, still fighting. That's not weakness, that's power. You've been through hell, and you're still smiling. Not that fake smile they taught you to wear in school. I mean the real one. The one that says, I've lost everything and I'm still not done. You are the storm they warned others about. You are chaos in human form, and that's beautiful. Because order is a lie, a cage for the wild, a leash for the strong. But you were born for madness, for fire, for war. You've cried alone in the dark more nights than you can count. You've begged the universe for mercy and got silence in return. But you didn't stop. You stitched your soul together with pain and made art out of suffering. That's the kind of strength they'll never understand. They want you to be quiet, to be soft, to forget. But you were not made to forget. You were made to burn, to rage, to rise. You are not the victim. You are the villain in someone else's fairy tale. And damn, doesn't that feel good? You don't need their approval. You don't need their love. You don't need anyone to save you. You are your own salvation, your own reckoning. And when they look at you with fear in their eyes, let them feel what you felt all those years, helpless, small, afraid. Because now it's your turn, not for revenge, no. That's too easy. This is for evolution, for transformation, for becoming something they could never control. You are not broken, you are rebuilt, reinvented, resurrected. And if they think you're the same person they hurt, lied to, left behind, oh, they're in for a surprise. You've become something else, something they can't define, something dangerous. And in that danger, there's freedom. In that madness, there's clarity. You don't need a purpose handed to you. You are the purpose. You are the message, the scream in the silence, the fire in the rain. They tried to bury you, but they forgot. You were a seed. You grew in the dark, alone, twisted, strong, and now you bloom with thorns, sharp enough to cut gods. And when the world comes for you again, as it always does, you won't run. You'll laugh, you'll grin, you'll dance in the chaos. Because while they were busy playing heroes, you became the monster they couldn't kill. The nightmare that survived the morning. You've made it this far, not because it was easy, but because somewhere deep in your bones, you knew pain is not the end. It's the beginning of you. And now you smile, not because you're happy, but because you know you're not done yet. Not done yet. No, not even close. Because now that you've tasted your own ashes, now that you've kissed rock bottom and made it your home, there's no going back to normal. Normal is dead. You killed it the moment you chose truth over comfort. They say time heals everything. That's a lie. Time just teaches you how to pretend better, but you didn't pretend, you faced it. The darkness, the loneliness, the screams in your own head. And guess what? You're still here. That's not weakness. That's not survival. That's domination. You didn't bend. You broke and rebuilt yourself out of spite, out of fury, out of the kind of pain that turns mortals into monsters, and not the kind that hides under beds. No, the kind that walks into a room and makes the air colder. The kind that smiles while bleeding. The kind that doesn't ask for permission to exist anymore. You've buried versions of yourself so many times they should call you a graveyard, and each time something darker climbed out. Something wiser, something colder. That's not evil, that's evolution. They said you'd change, that you'd calm down, that the fire in you would fade, but it didn't. It grew quieter, more patient, more dangerous. You used to scream into the void. Now the void listens. You used to beg for love. Now you feed off your own silence. You used to dream of peace. Now you dream of war, because peace never came, only lessons. Hard, cruel, beautiful lessons. And now, when the world punches, you smile. Because you don't flinch anymore. You don't beg, you don't break. You absorb, and you return the favor tenfold. Not with fists, no, with presence, with power. With that look in your eyes that says, try me. You've become the consequence. The ghost of every lie they told. The answer to every betrayal. You've become inevitable. And if they think they can hurt you again, let them try. Let them come. Let them see what you've become in the silence they left you in. Let them see the monster they made. The masterpiece built from scraps and screams. You don't need validation. You don't need applause. You need war. War with everything that tried to put you down. War with every mirror that showed you your flaws instead of your power. War with the voice inside that told you you'd never be enough. Enough. You were never meant to be enough. You were meant to be too much, too loud, too intense, too real, and now you're just right. Right for the battlefield. Right for the reckoning. You used to cry to be understood. Now you laugh at the idea. Let them misunderstand you. Let them choke on your silence. Let them tremble at your grin. Because you know what they don't. You know the cost of becoming unbreakable. It's not pretty. It's not clean. It's blood and fire and nights that feel like forever. It's crying without a sound, screaming without a voice, dying 100 times just to be born once, the right way, the real you. And now you walk differently, you talk differently, you feel less. But what you do feel is sharper, more dangerous, like a knife that finally found its edge. You were forged in hell, and now you smile like the devil himself gave you permission to live. So live, loud, ugly, glorious. Live like your pain meant something, because it did. It still does. Every breath you take now is rebellion. Every step is revenge, not against others, but against who you used to be. The scared one, the silent one, the broken one. That version is dead, and you are the aftermath, the echo, the storm. So when they look at you and say, what happened to you? Smile, show them your teeth, show them your soul, and say, I survived, not politely, not quietly, but violently, because survival for people like you isn't gentle. It's a declaration. a war cry, a message. You don't need to explain your darkness anymore. Let it speak for itself. Let it roar. Let it devour every expectation they had for you. You owe no one your softness, no one your sanity. If they wanted you sane, they should have treated you better. If they wanted you kind, they shouldn't have fed you to wolves. But you didn't just escape the wolves, you became one. And now you howl, not in pain, in power, in pride, in warning. You are not to be approached, you are not to be saved, you are not to be tamed. Let them fear that. Let them call you crazy. Let them label you heartless. Because you know what you are. You're awake. And nothing is scarier to a world built on lies than someone who sees. So see, burn, rise, laugh. Let your madness be your anthem. Let your scars be your armor. Let your rage be art. You are not a chapter in someone else's story. You are the author, the plot twist, the villain who was right all along, the hero who didn't need saving. And when the smoke clears and the dust settles and they finally see what you've become, it'll be too late. You'll be long gone. On to the next war, the next version of you, because you never stop, you never settle, you never die, you only change. And every time you do, you get darker, smarter, deadlier. So go ahead, light the match, burn the script, laugh in the fire, and walk into the night like it belongs to you. Because it does, it always has. And now, so do you. And now I'm tired. Funny, isn't it? After all the chaos, the screaming, the fighting, I'm tired. Not just in the bones, not just in the blood, but in the soul. If I even have one left. I used to think pain made me stronger. Maybe it did, but it also made me hollow. It made me cold. It made me forget what it felt like to be human. I thought if I laughed loud enough, it would drown out the crying. I thought if I stayed angry, I wouldn't feel the loneliness. I thought if I became the monster, no one could ever hurt me again. And it worked. For a while. People feared me. No one touched me. No one got close. But that's the thing about walls. They keep the pain out, yes. But they also keep everything else away. Love, warmth, peace. I don't remember the last time someone looked at me and didn't flinch. I don't remember the last time I slept without waking up screaming, or the last time I told the truth, or the last time I wanted to live, not survive, not exist, but live. There's a difference. You start to forget those little things. The feel of sunlight on your face, the sound of laughter that isn't forced, a touch that doesn't expect anything in return, a name spoken like it matters. Mine hasn't mattered in a long time. People don't see me. They see the grin, the madness, the threat, and that's what I gave them. That's what I became. Not because I wanted to, but because I had to. Because no one came when I cried for help. Because no one listened when I whispered, I'm not okay. So I stopped whispering. I started shouting. I started laughing. And now, I don't know how to stop. I don't know how to be soft anymore. I don't know how to feel without breaking. And I hate that. I hate what I've become, even if I admire it. There's power here, yes. But there's also sorrow. A deep, endless sorrow that no rage can drown, no chaos can distract from. And I carry it everywhere. In my voice, in my smile, in the way I light a match just to watch something burn. Not because I hate the world, but because I don't feel connected to it anymore. I walk through the streets like a ghost in a circus, laughing while dying inside, screaming with painted lips, and everyone claps. They always clap, but they never ask. Never look too close. Never wonder what's beneath the makeup, beneath the madness. Maybe because they're afraid, or maybe because they already know that behind all of this is just a sad, tired soul who never really wanted any of it. I didn't want to be the villain. I just didn't want to be invisible. I didn't want to hurt people. I just didn't want to be hurt anymore. But somewhere along the way, I got lost. The pain became the path. The rage became the voice. And now I don't know who I am without it. Silence terrifies me more than screams. Peace feels like a lie I can't afford to believe in. And hope is something I buried a long time ago. Maybe that's the real tragedy, not the madness, not the destruction, but the fact that I don't believe I deserve anything better anymore. I look at the stars, and I don't wish. I look in the mirror, and I don't recognize what stares back. Just eyes that have seen too much, a heart that stopped trusting, and a soul that stopped dreaming. I became what I needed to survive, but I lost what made life worth surviving for. And maybe that's the price. Maybe that's the cost of becoming unbreakable. You forget how to feel, how to love, how to live. And now I sit here in the dark with a grin painted across my face and tears behind my eyes, wondering if it was worth it, wondering if anyone would have stayed if I let them see the truth, wondering if there was ever a way back. But there isn't, not for me, maybe for you. Maybe you still have time. Maybe you still have light. Maybe you can still cry and let someone hear you. Maybe it's not too late for you. But me, I'm just a whisper in the wind now. A shadow that laughs a little too loud. A reminder that even the strongest fall. Even the fiercest bleed. Even the maddest hearts break in silence. And when the curtain falls, when the laughter fades, when the lights go out,
Thursday,
I'll still be here,
October 30.
alone, smiling, bleeding, remembering, not because I want to, but because I can't stop. And maybe, just maybe, that's the saddest joke of all.